Hey guys, it's Nick. I was getting a couple questions on one of my last videos where I talked about spending more time sitting in a squat position. A lot of people asked me, Nick, how can I improve my ankle mobility? Because a lot of people have issues getting into this deep squat position. That could be restrictions in the knee joint, ankle joint, and so on. So I just wanted to share a couple quick tips that you can start incorporating to improve your ankle mobility and really get into that deep squat. So the first one is going to be spending more time rocking. So as babies, the first squat position that we experience is rocking. So if you look at me squatting like this, and this position, it's essentially the same thing, just flipped 90 degrees, right? So if you really focus on rocking with your toes up like this, as you can see, I'm dynamically improving that mobility of my ankle joint. There's a whole other host of benefits to doing this rocking motion. I have another video on my page up about that specifically. It's also kind of lengthening and stretching that plantar fascia on the bottom of your foot, which tends to get really stiff and bound up when we don't spend a lot of time moving or walking around barefoot. It's also improving extension of your toes. So having a foot that's mobile is just as important to really reaching that deep squat position as having a mobile ankle and knee joint as well. So the other tip I'm going to recommend is really just spending more time in that squat position. I know it sounds kind of redundant, but the more time we spend in these positions, the easier it is for our body to adapt to them. So it's okay if you're not in that perfect ideal squat all the time. So if you're up on your toes like this, spending time squatting, that can be just as beneficial. If you want to grab something, I have these little wedges, but you can really use anything, a textbook, little weight plates, whatever you have, just to elevate your heels a little bit, which makes it a little bit easier to get into that squat position. So really just spending as much time as you can, whether you're watching TV, sitting around your house. And so the more consistent you are with this, the easier it will be for your body to adapt. So the more rocking that you do, the more squatting that you do, the quicker you will be able to reach that full depth squat position. Also, my buddy Jason at Noble Training Institute did a great video last week about improving ankle mobility with bands, so using bands to kind of mobilize the joint. So using band mobilizations to kind of get everything moving in there. Feel free to check that out as well. I'll tag him below in the comments.